Hello everyone, and welcome back to One-Off Let's Plays, the series where I show off games in my collection that I wouldn't actually make a full LP out of, and today, I'm actually doing like a redone version of a previous One-Off Let's Play that I did. So back in like October 2014, I think it was, I showed off, this series basically called Road Rash. I showed off Road Rash 1 and Road Rash 2 for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, and looking back at it now, I don't really like the commentary. I think I sound a bit too relaxed and things as I was recording it in my bedroom, and I was a bit cautious of people around me and stuff like that, and I just recorded that at the wrong time, I find. Plus also it was played on an emulator, and I really want to record these from, an original Sega Mega Drive system, the way they're supposed to be and stuff like that. So let's just jump straight into this and I'll explain what it's all about if you haven't really seen the previous video. I might as well put a link in the description though, just in case if you're curious as to how it was and things. So, Road Rash is basically a racer, for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis and things, where you go from point A to point B and you try to win basically. But the thing that makes it quite unique, and obviously this is one reason why I like this game a lot really, is the fact that it adds combat along the way. So even though, you're on a bike and you're going all the way from point A to point B, you have these other bikers and things, and you can basically just punch them in the face or hit them with baseball bats and just try to knock them off basically. And it can actually get pretty difficult, because later on the computers, they get higher levels and things and they start to be a bit more mean, trying to knock you off and stuff like that. I'm playing through level 1 at the minute, in other words, stage 1 of the computers and things like that. And they're not too bad, but later on, good god, both of these games get really difficult. And there is Road Rash 3 for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, but I haven't really got a copy of that, and it's actually not really common to come by. I haven't really found it that much. It must be like a rare Sega Mega Drive game or something, but I don't know. As you can see there, if you're looking at the mirrors, I knocked that guy off his bike and things like that. Just this game's humour and things, I find, is pretty good. Not to mention the soundtrack is also pretty badass as well, if you ask me. It depends though if you like, 16-bit electronic sounds from the Sega Mega Drive. I, myself, am actually, the Sega Mega Drive is like my favourite console of all time, admittedly. And I do like the sound of it. Some people, find that the Sega Mega Drive sound chip and that is a bit too compressed to where they think it just sounds ear-grating. But me, I think it adds to sort of like the 80s, 90s feel, and I just think it does really good, especially since some games used it to its best advantage and stuff like that. For instance, there's this game for the Mega Drive called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the Movie, and, it basically takes, the songs from like the Power Rangers shows and stuff like that, it puts them in sort of like a sort of format that suits on the Sega Mega Drive, or at least I call it Genesisified things, and I think they sound really good through Mega Drive remixes, if you will, and stuff like that. Also, Ristar, or Rista, however you pronounce it, has also a good soundtrack, and I don't know, I just love 16-bit electronic sounds. I don't know really, I'm just a big fan of that. Also the Super Nintendo, I just like the 16-bit generation really, and stuff like that, but still. But I don't know who composed the music to this. I think it was just Rob Hubbard. I know Rob Hubbard, composed both soundtracks, I think, Road Rash 1 and Road Rash 2, but I don't know any others. I think there was like Don Vecker or something, but I don't know. Do your research if you're curious and things, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I, for one, like Road Rash's soundtrack, and I think it's really good. Except, out of the two, my favourite one has to be Road Rash 2. Why is that? You'll see next time or so, as I'm going to be also doing Road Rash 2 again, because I get to show off these games on the original Mega Drive format. Because back in 2014, I didn't have a capture card. The only way that I could record games in high quality was through emulators. And still, emulators are a good way to go for people. Some people like them and stuff. Me, I don't mind emulators, but I would rather play them on the original systems and that, so that I can show them off in better quality. Well, not so much better quality, but it's just, I don't know, it feels more natural to me, because this is how I would play Road Rash in my spare time. Given the fact that Road Rash is a game that pretty much you can only get on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis system, really. You can't really get this on Virtual Console or anything like that. The only way to play this is either through emulation or getting an original Mega Drive copy. hence the one that I'm showing off in this video and things. Also, by the way, this is Pacific Coast. Take a listen to it. I do love the soundtrack to this game and things. That's also another reason though, probably why I like this game. Even though, you know, you're racing from point A to point B and stuff and taking out bikers on the way. Because there's no engine noises and things, it means that while riding across, you can basically just jam out to the tunes and things. So I get to hear, you know, more of the soundtrack whilst playing the game, instead of having sound effects that completely drown it out and things. Because, you know, you have that moment in games, don't you, where you're trying to hear the soundtrack and there's too much sound effects going on because you can't hear it. It's like, you know, if you're going to hear, what's it, the OST to, you know the bit in Jak and Daxter? I think it's called Fire Crater or something. You know when you go on that little bike and you collect those balloons hovering across the lava? Because of the noise of the bike and the propellers and the explosions and the speed boosters, you can't hear any of the soundtrack on that area. And honestly, good thing, because I mean, you're on like this bike and things, and it's got such low bass, and it's pretty slow moving if you ask me. It suits to what's going on, but I don't know, I just find that quite hilarious, to be honest. Because I love the name of these bikers and things. You can actually call yourself something different, like, you know, at the moment it's called Player A, you can call yourself Batman or something if you want. You can even put swear words if you have that kind of mind. But, you know, you can take out these other races and stuff, like called Rex and things, I don't know, I just find that some of these names are really funny. Like Biff, considering given the fact I'm going to biff him in the face in a minute. Especially, I think it's either, I don't know, I think it's in Road Rash 1 or maybe Road Rash 2. There's like this biker called Rude Boy. I don't know why it's called Rude Boy, that's probably like his nickname or something, but it's a bit strange. Also, some of them really don't sound threatening, like, look out, here comes Natasha. I don't know, there's just like a certain charm to this game, you know, that appeals to me, because I mean, I didn't grow up with Road Rash 1 specifically, but, you know, I grew up with Road Rash 2. Road Rash 2 was my childhood. As, you know, as a kid, I grew up playing the Sega Mega Drive. I grew up with Road Rash 2, Sonic Spinball, I think even Virtua Racing, that weird 3D polygonal racer and things. I think I grew up with that, but that was a long time ago. So, you know, just playing Road Rash 2, it brings me back to my childhood, and also I just think that the gameplay just still holds up to this day, really. Not to mention that you can also see like this dashboard which tells you which place you are, like at the moment it says I'm 02, meaning second, and there's even like a speedometer showing you how fast you're going, where apparently I am going like 120 miles an hour, even though really it doesn't feel like it, but I mean this was the Mega Drive and it couldn't really capture proper speed back then or anything. Let's just say it was no F-Zero X on the N64, if you know what I mean. Anyway, now we're onwards to Redwood Forest. I would actually be quiet and let you hear this and things, but honestly, thinking about it earlier, you can hear it while I talk, really, so I mean, you know, either that or you can look it up in your spare time. Also, there was just Rude Boy, so yeah, it's the first one that has it. Like, at the moment we got Grub and Gunther. Just, I don't know, you know, some people may look at this and just think, oh yeah, it's just an average racer, but to me personally, this appeals to me a lot, and I come back to this game quite a bit because it's so freaking accessible. Like, you know, if I'm just bored and I can't really decide what Sega Mega Drive game to play or anything like that, my mind often turns to Road Rash because it's just a fun little racer, you know, you just drive around and you punch bikers off. Not to mention that I find that every time I play this, there's always a new experience because, you know, you can never tell what's gonna happen. Like, the computers might sometimes knock you off or something, or you might knock out a pile of them, or they might crash into, like, you know, a car, or just anything can happen, really. And that's the thing that I like about it, because, like, the humor on this is funny. Like, you know, one time, what was it? I managed to, like, if you press, like, down and C and stuff, you can kick them, but, you know, I managed to drive next to one, or at least ride past next to one, or something like that, I don't know. And then kick him right into a car as soon as I got past. I'll try to replicate it in this and see how it goes. Like that guy there, you know, he was stupid, I just crashed into the car himself. And just, I love it. I love how each time you play, there's always something new, like that time where I nearly hit a car. That can be annoying sometimes though, given the fact that cars come out of nowhere. Like, the perception, I suppose, the draw distance is well, it is dated now, because I mean, you know, this is on the Sega Mega Drive, and this game came out in 1992, I think? I don't know, I would look at the box, but I'm playing and I can't really put it down at the minute, and pausing it would be unnecessary, I find. But still, in that case, if this was 1992, this came out pretty much, if it did, this came out like the same year as Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Wow, imagine that, like going from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and thinking those were good graphics, but now look at this. And sure, this is no like Mode 7 going on or anything, or the Super FX chip for the Super Nintendo, you know, with games like Starwing. Yeah, it's called Starwing over here, by the way. I know in American places it's called Star Fox, but over here it's called Starwing. I have absolutely no idea why, you would have to do your research on that, but it just is. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, but I really can't be bothered to ask or explain about it, really. Also, wow, Natasha is actually really good. It has to be when I said that, you know, Natasha is not really threatening or anything. Oh, actually, no, this is Viper. Oh, God, freaking hell, Viper. Viper is the bane of my existence in this game. He is always a pain in the ass to you, no matter what place you're in. Like, he could even be like the last racer, and he will always catch up to you and just, you know, I don't like Viper. But that's the thing, like, even though, you know, they are just computer players, they do have, like, different stats and levels, and you get to know them well. I mean, you know, because, like I said, Viper and things will sometimes catch up to you, even though he's not. Yeah, he must have got hit by a car or something, because, you know, he probably didn't dodge it or anything like that, but still. Also, can I hit anything? No, I can't, damn it. That's something I always like to do. Whenever I finish a race, I always like to crash into something and just watch me fall off and things, and it's a fun ride, what can I say? Because I like how it shows like a Mega Drive controller, sort of like in a 16-bit form and things. I don't know, I praise this game too much, and maybe I'm overreacting, but this is just how I feel about this game. I love it, what can I say? Especially when you can punch off Rude Boy right at the very beginning on every race. That's probably the highlight. I can't really seem to do that as well though on Road Rash 2 for some reason. Also, I realised something, like, if you hold down the up and then press the C button at the same time, you can basically hold your fist up, and when you release it, you do a much harder punch. So what I tend to do is go next to racers, and then sort of, you know, steer into them, and then let go of, so I punch them in the face, so then they drop off a lot easier. Like, let's see if I can do it on him. Yeah, there we go. See how much damage that did? Like, that nearly knocked him off in a full turn. Not to mention that if you kick him and stuff, you can sometimes, like, I can't always do it, if anything, it's a pretty rare occasion, but when you kick them, you can actually kick them off their bikes. Usually though, kicking is like a strategy to where you can just kick them out, or kick them out the way, or kick them in front of a car coming and things. Basically, you know, in this game, you've got to be a mug to the racers. Like, if you want to come first, you have got to punch them in the face and just act really mean to them, and that's what I like about it. And believe me, there is a lot of satisfaction when you can hit them off their bikes and things. Also, I don't think I've showed off the bat or anything, because, you know, depending on which racer you hit, they'll try to hit you back with a weapon or something. And, oh dear, Lester just died immediately. If you hit them while they're trying to hit you with a bat, you're able to steal it and then hit them, and then you know you can basically use your bat as the weapon. Also, these computers are really not trying at all today, are they? I guess it's because I'm playing this on the original Mega Drive. Because, I mean, I always had trouble with, like, the controls on an emulator, but that's just me. If you don't, that's fine, man. This is just how I feel, you know? Also, that was slated just then for some reason. One thing I will say, though, while I do prefer Road Rash 2, this game does run a lot smoother, and I know you're probably thinking, yeah, but it doesn't run smooth in general. Yeah, that's true. You may look at this and think, oh my god, this really, you know, it doesn't run in 60 frames per second or anything. Not even 30, I don't think. But when you play it for yourself, you'll find that the controls are actually not that bad, and it's pretty easy to get used to it, really. And stuff, because, I mean, all you have to do is lightly tap the D-pad to go left and right and things, and just follow the road, pretty much. And then after that, you've pretty much got the hang of it. You can also look at how many miles each track has, because there's like a, I think, is there? Oh, actually, no, there's a timer. No, fair enough. Oh, no, there is a mileage, yeah. Because if you look at, like, the speedometer and things like that, there's, like, this number going up and down. Pretty much, you know, like a mileage in a car or something, or even on a bike. And if you look at the tracks, it tells you, you know, how many miles the track is. So that when you look at your mileage, you get an idea if you're coming up to the end or not. There's a lot to look out for in this game. Also, Shiver is being a real pain at the minute. Except I'm first at the minute. I didn't actually realise that. Have I fallen off? I don't know. I've been too busy like rambling on about stuff that I'm not actually concentrating on what's going on. Also, if Shiver comes past me, I'm going to try and kick him into this car because I am such a nice person. Also, those are like puddles of oil and things. Like if you drive over those, you'll lose control, and if you steer too much when going over it, you can sometimes fall off. So be careful about that. As you know, there are obstacles in this game to be on the lookout for. Can I hit the car? No, I can't. Damn it! Something I always like doing as well. Just like I say, you can never see what's coming. Like a car could come out of nowhere for some reason and hit a bunch of bikers and things, and there's always just something new, you know? You better not be one of those wild biker types. I'm out to get me a rasher. Oh, I see. He must be like a policeman or something. Have we even come across a policeman yet? I don't think we have. Rude boy every time, even though that time I didn't really knock him off, but whatever. Also, I just realised how many races there are. Jesus, there's like 15 races, and you know, I'm going all the way down to first place. Can I just say though, my player must have like a freaking powerful punch to just knock them off their bikes in like one punch to the face, and that's it. You can just tap the C button that to just punch them lightly, but I often like to charge like this and then hit them, so then as you can see it just knocks them off completely, really. It's quite a fun strategy. I don't know how they managed to pull off something like this. I mean, like I said, this is in 1992. And just seeing this, you know, imagining me playing this in 1992, I think I would have been quite blown away by this. In fact, I can't remember how old I was when I played Road Rash 2, as it was a long time ago. And those were some fun memories. Also, I just took out Hammer then. It's a shame it doesn't say MC at the beginning. I must, you know, because I just don't really know how they made this and things. This just must have looked really cool back in 1992, I find. I think it was 1992, but I'm pretty sure I talked about this before. I'm going to kick him though, just for a change, to see what happens. Oh my god, wait! Can he hit the car? Oh, damn it, you dodged it just in time, did you? Well, never mind, I thought he was then going to drive into it, but unfortunately he didn't. That's a real shame. Never mind. Oh, in fact, I just realised something. When I punched him off and things, he's going to probably hit the car behind him anyway, so that's going to be double the damage and things. Also, I'm going to show off, when I've cleared all these tracks, a mode where you can basically turn off the music, because when you turn off the music, if you don't like it, you can basically just hear like these biker noises, and yeah, you can if you want. I often like to hear it with the music, but you know, I just want to show it off in general and things. Because the way how you get to the next level is, you come, I don't know, I think you have to come like first place in every... yeah, I think you have to come first place in every single race, or maybe the top 3. I'm not too sure, I forgot actually. But either way, you know, basically if you just clear the races, I think that's what you do anyway. You basically advanced on to level 2, where basically what happens is you go through the same tracks, but against you know, a higher level computers on their bikes. And the tracks are slightly longer, they're just extended. So of course if you get to like level 5, the tracks are even longer and the computers are annoying as hell. Seriously, I've never beat this game in my life because some of the computers later on just get so goddamn brutal. And it can turn into like the hardest Mega Drive game ever made. Really, the same with Road Rash 2. But I don't know what Road Rash 3 is like, since, like I said, I've never played it really. I would like to. Maybe if I pick it up, I could do a one-off Let's Plays blind edition of it. That'd be fun. I mean, it's basically just, you know, the same formula, pretty much. And I think that's all the races, as far as I'm aware. How are we for time? We're actually at 20 minutes, bloody hell. Oh boy, time goes fast when you're just commentating over crap, but still. So what happens? Yeah, you get given this, basically. Sort of a cutscene and things, where it shows that you've made it, and it says, great, I thought I left you behind with the other lowlife. There's also like dialogue on things so you can get used to the characters and stuff like that, but still. And what you can do, I believe, is, I think is it C? It might be C. Oh no, C is the button with like all these things where you can basically change the name of your player if you want. Like I say, you can call it Batman or something. And here's the password screen. Yes, this is the password screen. Every time you beat something, you always have to click C and then go to it, and you have to write down this long as hell password system. I mean, seriously, look how long it is and stuff. It's like 20 characters long. You have to write down all those on a piece of paper and then input it, and honestly, that's probably my flaw with Road Rash 1 compared to 2 and things. The password in this one is just so ridiculously long to put in, you know. At least with Road Rash 2, it was like 5 or 10 characters, not 20. Still. In fact, I can't remember. You'll see when we get onto that, but still. In fact, I think it might be... Is it A? Oh, wait, no, that's... no. I didn't want to do that. Player 1 mode selected. There we go. I was getting confused there for a second, but I know you can go into a bike shop. I don't know how, though. I think it's B. No, B turns the music off. I don't know, but anyway, should we just go without the music or so? Because if I click the start button, this will happen. Where basically what we are given is this. Also, I just realised something. I am supposed to have a new bike, because see, every time you win a race and things, you get given like a whole bunch of money and you can use that to buy different bikes. In fact, I think the only way you can do that really is if you win a race and then you go to the bike shop immediately, since at the menu I couldn't seem to get it. So, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, I think. Anyway, I'm making this look a bit easy for some reason. I'm supposed to have a faster bike so that way I can catch up to them a lot easier. As, you know, just sticking with the same bike throughout the whole game is quite difficult. In fact, I don't think it's possible, really, as, you know, they basically get given bigger engines and stuff, and you just can't catch up to some of the later ones. I suppose on, like, level 2 it's not that bad, but, you know, it's just best to, like, buy a bigger bike in general, just so that way you can keep up and then just stay ahead of the competition, really. Also, wow, what a really threatening name. There's some dude, or in fact maybe like a female, called Angel. Oh my god. Oh, by the way, I also forgot to point out something. There's so much stuff to point out on this little Mega Drive game, my god. You'll notice like this health, where it says bike and like a green bar and things. What that is basically, well, health in this game, where every time you take a hit, you know, if you fall off your bike meter goes down. And if that reaches to 0, that means next time you go to your bike, it freaking explodes. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it blows up and then you fall flat on your face and it says wrecked or so. I might show it off, but that just depends on how the gameplay goes. Because, I mean, I don't really want to show these off just to show them off and things. I just want to play it how I naturally would and stuff like that. In fact, really, I'll be playing this on my CRT, but I'm playing this on a HD television to hook it up to my Elgato Game Capture HD, as that's the only way to do it as far as I'm aware. And it looks okay, I guess, but... Oh dear. I guess I shouldn't talk about Elgato on this, then. This is what happens when you fall off your bike. He basically falls off and then he runs back to it automatically. And, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Also, can I knock this guy off before... Oh, actually, no, cool, I got a bat now. Now I can show off the bat and things. So you'll notice there when he tried to hit me and things, I managed to steal one of his bat, and yeah, I know I say and things a lot, but this is just how I naturally am, so deal with it. When I press the C button, I can basically use them to hit them with this bat. Also, if you press up and C, you can hold it and charge more power, and it's a bit more effective. Except I nearly crashed into a sign, and that was almost the most embarrassing thing of all time. Holy crap, Jesus! One hit to the face and he is off. In fact, I swear it like glitched or something, because all I did was literally hold it near his face. Like I hit him, but it didn't cause like a rebound off of his head. It just stayed there. It looked like it went through his head. That was a bit barbaric. But then again, I mean, I'm punching people off their bikes, so I don't see how that wouldn't be barbaric in the first place. Never mind. So what place am I? I'm 5th. I see. This is pretty much, though, what the sound is like when you got not much bikers going on. This one single note going all the way to the very end. Which is why I often find that when I'm first and I have the music off, it's sort of relaxing, but it's also pretty funny just hearing this same note all the way, you know, to the very end. I don't know, I just have a weird sense of humour, really. Some cars, though, can just come out of nowhere, and it can often be frustrating. Like, you've pretty much got to be super observant, almost like as if in reality, really, when on a motorbike or in a car. Well, you've always got to look out in front and try to make sure that if there's a car coming, you've got to go over to the other side and try not to hit it, and, you know. But like I said, because of, like, the draw distance, it was good back in the day, and stuff like that, but sometimes cars, when you're going over a hill, you could not see them coming and you don't have time to react, and yeah, I'll admit, sometimes this game has made me like rage quit. Mostly though from, you know, the later levels, not through level 1 and 2, those are okay, but it's just later on when things get really hectic. Are we near the end though? I think we are. And this is why I say get a different bike. When you have enough money and things, because look, you are not able to catch up to them, and can I hit the car? Oh, I can, but I can't fall off it. Damn it. I thought I was going to hit it with enough speed and then fall off it then. Okay, if you click C on this bit, what happens is it takes you to this bike shop, and then you can, you know, basically pick up bikes. Like, at the moment it says it's yours, because that's the bike that I currently have. And, let's see, it shows you the price and things. What's the latest one that you can get? I'm just curious. It's this thing, which costs, bloody hell, $25,000. My word. Also, it gives you like little descriptions and stuff like that. But often what I tend to do is, at the moment, while that's mine, I just upgrade and then go to the purple one instead. And you do that by clicking C, as far as I'm aware, since now it says it's yours. So now you can have fun on this new bike, which, shall I show it off? I don't know. I guess, because it's been like 27 minutes or so, but you know what, whatever. It's Road Rash. It's like one of my favourite games ever, even though that's Road Rash 2, and I'ma just play it and just have lots of fun, you know? Especially when I can take out Broom, whatever his name was, in like one hit. Sorry about that, a quick interruption right there and things, but now we are back and listening to Pacific Coast. And now we're on this new bike. You'll notice, like, if you look at the speedometer, it basically increases the speed. Not amazing or anything. Like, I think instead of going 125, I'm going at basically, 130 by the looks of it. So it increases it by 10. But you'll find that that's enough in order to place first in, like, the later ones. So that's pretty much, you know, my suggestion when it comes to strategy on this game, or at least just common knowledge. Where when you get to the next level of races, buy the next bike from that. You know, so basically, like, after this purple one, I would go to the one next to it, and just so that way I can keep ahead. But bear in mind that each bike you choose now has different stats and things. Like, this purple one isn't so bad, I guess, but, you know, later on, while you do get faster bikes, it means that even though, yes, they are faster, they're also a bit hard to control. Like, maybe they haven't got as good handling and things. So, you know, you got to keep a sharp eye on that. So just read the descriptions and just see how you do. But like I said, it's a shame how this game pretty much cannot be... Hey, yeah, I got a bat. That's alright. It's a shame, you know, how this game was not released on Virtual Console, because this game is pretty much unheard of now. I mean, it was good back in the day and things. A lot of people played this. Also, there's a policeman right there. But, you know, you can't really pick this up on Virtual Console or anything. That's a real shame. As I think a lot of people playing this, like, on Virtual Console, they would like this. It's a shame, because, like, you know, a lot of games, you know, Mega Drive games and that released on Virtual Console have been pretty good. I mean, for instance, like Earthworm Jim, Gunstar Heroes, and things like that. What else was there? Comic Zone, I think that's on Virtual Console. I know for sure that you can get it on Sonic Mega Collection Plus anyway. But even still, it's a shame that, you know, a lot of Mega Drive collections, or Genesis collections even, don't have this game, really. Which is a shame, because it's like one of my favourite Mega Drive games. In fact, one of my favourite games of all time. But like I said, I'm talking about Road Rash 2, really. But that's the thing. The reason why I keep saying that is because even though this is Road Rash 1, 2 is basically Road Rash 1, but just more, really. So in a way, I kind of count Road Rash 1 and Road Rash 2 to be sort of the same thing, because I mean, gameplay-wise, it's the same thing, really. It's just Road Rash 2 has a lot more going on, but, you know, I still find the first one fun, really. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but still. Also, sorry if this video has been dragging on, but this is just what happens when I show off like my favourite games and my collection and things. I don't know when to shut up about it, and I just get carried away playing it, especially when I'm playing it on an original Sega Mega Drive system. That's one issue that I always had with like emulation and things, because recording this back in like 2014, well, sure, I could use the keyboard, and the Mega Drive doesn't really have a lot of buttons in general. It doesn't feel natural to me. I'd rather like sit on a chair, you know, with like a CRT and a Mega Drive with a Mega Drive controller, put in the cart, turn it on, and that's the way I play Mega Drive, really. I mean, sure, there's Virtual Console and stuff, but I don't know, I'm a retro nerd. I like to play things the original way. The same with like the Sega Dreamcast and stuff like that, but still. I think I might as well end this video after the, you know, this race and stuff there, as I'm really running out of things to say. I think I've pretty much dissected this game. Also, there's a guy called Hoghide. That's pretty cool. It'd be funny if there's like a dude in this like called Sonic. I've never really got that far in the game though, but if they even put that in there, that would be amazing, because guess who made this game? Electronic Arts. Yes, EA. The ones nowadays that basically make sports games and things. They made this! And they also made like the James Pond games, like James Pond 2 RoboCod, as well as James Pond 3 Operation Starfish for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, and things like that. Also, in case you're wondering why I keep going Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, it's to save confusion, because I mean, you know, over where I live and stuff, it's dubbed as the Sega Mega Drive, but in places like America, it's called the Sega Genesis. So, you know, some Americans might think, Mega Drive? What the hell's that? I thought it was called Genesis. And that's the reason why I say it, really. It's just to save confusion. Also because I'm very condescending. But still. Yeah, this is Road Rash 1, I guess. Pretty much just Road Rash for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. If you like it, you can pick it up. You can only get it on the original system or emulation, and have like a ton of fun with words. Have a ton of fun with it and things. And I'll see you guys in Road Rash 2.